first 50 years of the Sunshine State Conference inspired champions and built a legacy rooted in excellence. A legacy built from a single sport to a conference of national champions. Threaded through geography, fueled by growth, defined by excellence. 135 team national titles, 173 individual champions, and hundreds of Scholar All-Americans. Always at the top of NCAA Division II. Looking ahead, we reflect on where we started, where we are, and where we're going. The Sunshine State Conference, where success thrives.
Welcome into the broadcast here on the SSC Digital Network for an unbelievable early April matchup between the Nova Southeastern University Sharks and the University of Tampa Spartans. The Sharks coming in with an overall record of 20-13. They have moved into fourth place in the current Sunshine State Conference standings. Sitting at 8-7 in conference play, the number 2 ranked Spartans come in 28-6 overall. First in the Sunshine State Conference, 14-1 is their record in SSC play. These two teams probably the hottest groups of recent action. The Sharks 15-5 since the start of March. The Spartans 16-5. However, they've gotten off to very different starts in the month of April. The Sharks 4-1, the Spartans 2-2. The Sharks had a 9-game winning streak snapped in the first game of their 2 at North Georgia. The second game of that doubleheader, the Sharks did pound out 16 runs, which is their second most in a single game this season. Tampa had a 7-game winning streak snapped in conference play against Florida Southern last Friday. Then in the doubleheader, they outscored the Mocs 21-5, so there was a little bit of aggression released in the doubleheader on Saturday. But you have two great teams, two fantastic coaching staffs ready to duke it out once again here at the NSU Baseball Complex. We'll give you a look at the starting lineup for Joe Urso's side. It'll be Jordan Evans, the center fielder, leading it off. Then Braden Woodburn, the second baseman, batting second. Gunnett Carlson will bat third and play first base. In the cleanup spot, it will be Joander Irigoyen. The catcher, Jake Books, the right fielder, will bat fifth. Nick Pereira, the designated hitter, will bat in the sixth spot. And then it'll be Javier Soto, Jack Martinez, and Jesse Ponce rounding out the starting 9 for the back-to-back Coach of the Year, Joe Urso. Back-to-back National and Sunshine State Conference Coach of the Year, the national champions in consecutive seasons for the Spartans. The Sharks, moments away from heading out to their defensive positions, and we'll show you who will occupy those spots. From left to right in the outfield, it's a little bit of a different alignment for head coach Adrian Morales. Emilio Gonzalez will start in left field with Joel Cabrera manning center. Nick Rodriguez back in his usual spot in right field. The infield group, it'll be Michael Arnold at third base, Anthony Stinson at short once again, and Roy Quevedo back in the lineup, but at second base. George Dagodi will be your first baseman. In the starting battery for the Sharks in this Friday night clash with Tampa, it'll be Sebastian Garavito and Nick Manning toeing the slab for NSU. We're going to step aside for the national anthem and then pick it right back up with Nick Manning's season stats and first pitch coming up here on the SSC Digital Network. Nick Manning to the mound for Nova Southeastern University. He's been absolutely sensational this season, leading the Sharks on the mound. He brings a 5-1 record to the hill with him in this ballgame in 8 starts this season, a 3.07 ERA for Manning. Total body of work this season, 44 innings pitched. He has allowed 46 hits, 15 earned runs, 43 strikeouts to 12 walks this season. He's holding opponents to a .274 batting average against. Things have been a little bit different for Nick Manning over the last handful or so starts. Since March 6th, which was his start against Wilmington, his last handful of starts, he has totaled a 4-0 record, a 1.50 ERA. 4 of his 5 have been quality starts in the book, 30 innings pitched, 31 strikeouts, 7 walks, and only 26 hits. He has certainly taken to Sunshine State Conference play. This will be his toughest task of the season. The Eckerd College Tritons were a team that he has already squared off with this season. That was just before the hot stretch that he's gotten on, so clearly learned some things after squaring off with one of the better offensive groups in the conference this season. This is a tall order. It is a Tampa group that has been knocked just a peg down from their top ranking pedestal. They're ranked second in the country, but this offensive group is quite a different task. Jordan Evans, the center fielder, 33 games played this season. He is a .396 hitter, which is good for the best mark on the team when you factor in the at-bats and games played. Nick Manning's first pitch is a fastball pumped right past Jordan Evans. 53 hits this season, 11 doubles, 5 triples, 4 homers for the leadoff man. He walks as often as he strikes out and doesn't really do either all that often. Roy Quevedo will be tested first. He'll gather and toss across for the first out of the ball game. First pitch came across at 6 o'clock on the dot. And you love it when everything stays as scheduled. Next up, it'll be Braden Woodburn, just behind Jordan Evans in more than a handful of season statistics this season. He's a .385 hitter, 47 hits and 122 at-bats, 6 doubles, 5 homers, and 31 driven in. The top 2 men in this lineup for Tampa, as Manning misses with the ball outside, have combined to score 86 runs this season. The Tampa team as a whole is tied for the top spot in the Sunshine State Conference with 326 runs scored. Manning set with the 1-1. Like it ran inside, nearly hit Woodburn. The count to 2-1. Manning's pitch mix. It's a 4-seam fastball, a sinker. It can get up into the low 90s, 92, 93 is where he'll probably be top-end wise. A sweeper, which you just saw, and a changeup from the tall right-hander. 3-1 count to Braden Woodburn. Does not strike out often. He will put this one on the ground towards Arnold. There's been a vacuum over there at third base, and Dagodi bails him out here. Got his hand ran into on the tag, and he's ailing a bit after the play now. Throw went right into the baseline. The Sharks can ill afford to lose anybody else from this starting lineup. Really been dealing with some injuries over the last couple of weeks. The Sharks athletic trainer Jason Palmatier and head coach Adrian Morales head out to check on Dagodi. Seems to be good enough. Probably want to see him at least get one tossed to him quickly, especially with that being the glove hand and all. But Roy Quevedo had to depart from a ball game not too long ago with what looked like a hamstring injury. No Jack Q in the lineup. He's not even in uniform for this ball game. We Gunnet Carlson having a fantastic season. Carlson from Tampa, been around the block quite a bit. First one to him, misses outside. Not your prototypical first baseman. Listed at 5'10", the senior. Played last season at Rice. Manning with the 1-1. Couldn't quite bring the sinker back to the inner edge. 2-1 the count. Like a high changeup. Carlson knew it. Signaled the turnover hand gesture back to the dugout. Got fooled a little bit. 2-2 from Manning. Got him swinging at the high heater, and Nick Manning, with 2 ground outs and a strikeout, tosses up a 0 to open up the ball game. The Sharks tone setter with an early donut, and we'll see if the Bats can get him some run support on the other side of the break.
I'm Sloan Smith with All Your Cooling. Staying cool in Florida has never been easier. With All Your Cooling, you'll get no money down, no payments until 2027, and a 10-year parts and labor warranty. And now you can claim federal tax credits up to $3,200. For over 50 years, families across Florida have trusted us to keep their homes comfortable. From same-day installs to expert repairs, we deliver the service you need when you need it. Don't wait until your AC gives out. Call us today, 855-818-3828, or scan the QR code below.
Starting lineup for the Nova Southeastern University Sharks. First 3 up will be Anthony Stinson, George DeGotti, and Emilio Gonzalez, followed by Roy Quevedo, Sebastian Garavito, and Michael Arnold. Nick Rodriguez, Manny Ramirez Jr., and Joel Cabrera will bat 7, 8, and 9 against the left-handed starter for the University of Tampa. For the number 24, it's Robert Satin. 6'3", 220-pound junior from Tampa, Florida. Originally a Kevin O'Sullivan grab out of high school, went to the University of Florida. Pitched primarily out of the bullpen back as a freshman, true freshman. Came to the University of Tampa last season, part of the national championship team. Made 15 appearances last season, most of those out of the bullpen. Worked to the tune of a 2-1 record, a 4.10 ERA. Now, sometimes you look to make an investment rather early and see that it's going to pay off because the talent is certainly there with Satin, and it is showing out this season. In 10 starts, he is 8-1, 58 innings, a minuscule 1.71 ERA. With 72 strikeouts to his name. Squares off with Anthony Stinson first. 1-0. Hard throw-in lefty gets one across. One. Stinson foul tips it right off the catcher. Falling behind here. He's been battling lately. Really been swinging a good bat over the last couple of weeks. He has hit safely in 9 of his last 10 ball games. 4 multi-hit games mixed in. Went 2 for 8 in the non-conference doubleheader against North Georgia with a double and a 2-run homer. He's up to 265 his average this season. 26 hits and 98 at-bats. More than a handful of extra base hits now. And a knee-high strike. Looked like it might have been over the big part of the plate, but Stinson thought it was a touch low. It's a looking strikeout to open it up for Satin. Now he'll get George DeGote, who's been on one heck of a run at the plate. One of his best stretches here with NSU. He's reached in 10 straight. Average just under 300 this year for the Sharks corner infielder, and he's going to line one right into the shortstop's glove on the first pitch. Bonse with the snare at short. But again, you continue to see with DeGote a lot of very strong contact, pull side line drives. Really boosted his middle of the season. He's locked up that number 2 spot in the order. Now Emilio Gonzalez, Sharks left fielder today. He's bounced around a little bit. His average at 227. OPS has dropped under 700 for the big lefty. Another start in the outfield. You've seen as the Sharks lineup has evolved this year that guys have had to maneuver into some different spots to really allow the lineup to be at its best. You've got a couple of corner infielders who've really been doing the job offensively and defensively, and Emilio, with his power potential, you need that in the lineup. There have been times where he's had to serve as the DH, try to get him some games in the outfield too. Just doing whatever it takes to get these guys in the lineup on a game-to-game basis. 1-2, well outside. Tried to spin Gonzalez out of the count, couldn't quite do so. Emilio just 3 hits in his last 15 at-bats. And 2 for 5 against North Georgia, drove in a run. 2-2. Fastball inside, knocked past first base coach Boris Pena, so we'll do it again. You certainly need Emilio. He is the team leader in RBIs, 27 this year, 4 doubles, 3 homers. 2-2 again. Lashed deep to left field, pushed the left fielder back, and Emilio Gonzalez has put the Sharks on the board immediately. His 4th home run of the season. Backside power. And Emilio has delivered a 1-0 lead for NSU. The Sharks desperate for some big fly potential in this lineup, and that is their 20th long ball of the season. Gonzalez up to 28 RBIs. It is certainly interesting when you look at the season stats this year. Robert Satin, it's the 3rd home run that he has allowed this season as Sebastian Garavito takes a ball. Garavito chasing out of the zone. But over the last couple of games for Satin, certainly hasn't been going his way. Count to 2-2 now. got blown up against Embry-Riddle, 6 innings, 11 hits, 8 earned runs. Florida Southern got him for more than a handful of hits, but 2 earned runs. But his last 13-plus innings, he's allowed 10 earned runs. A lot of contact, too. Garavito will run the count full, staying disciplined here. Things have soured a bit against what has been one of the best pitchers in the conference this season. But when you're talking 10 earned runs, and this season he's only allowed 11. Garavito puts one firmly on the ground at the shortstop. Ponce with the gather and the fire puts an end to the inning, but Nova Southeastern University with an early 1-0 lead. Emilio Gonzalez with the big blast puts the Sharks ahead.
Gotta keep the flame on max. I'ma keep it going till there ain't nothing left. Gotta keep the flame on max. I'ma keep it going till there ain't nothing left.
Let's take it back to a time when we were so much in love, baby. Ooh, yeah. Let us retract all the pain because each other so long, yeah.
I'm breaking necks and I'm body out. Reckless energy, I'm never signing out. Gotta keep the flame on max. I'ma keep it going till there ain't nothing left.
Let us retract all the pain because each other so long, yeah.
Top 2 about to get started here at the NSU Baseball Complex. A windy evening in Davie, Florida, as the Sharks lead 1-0 through 1. Big fly by Emilio Gonzalez, giving Nick Manning an immediate lead. Seminole State College transfer and second-year player for the University of Tampa as he grounds this right back to Nick Manning. Irigoyen gone on 1. Nick Manning has turned away 4 extremely impactful hitters right away. Jake Books, the right fielder, .324 hitter this season. Team high 12 doubles for Books. He showed a bunt, got the Sharks on their toes here. Everybody's buzzing around a little bit after the big fly. Got to think Books, born in the right place to be educated, from Collegeville, PA. Coastal Carolina transfer, enjoying his season here. A couple of guys with this Tampa group that seemingly got knocked out of their previous schools due to some injuries and new waves coming in. And you look at this University of Tampa group, and they have benefited from the run that they're on nationally. Bringing in the treasure, and they continue to rack up some trophies. A ball knocked foul over the Sharks bullpen. But program that has really taken control of the transfer portal, it seems like. Coach Urso continues to bring in a lot of talent year over year. 2-2 to Books, drifts inside. Second full count here in the early goings for both sides. Middles of the order trying to grind out some long plate appearances here. The Sharks infield loaded up a little bit. Roy Quevedo on the right side. Just doesn't seem all that natural to say that as Manning issues a rare walk. With the way that his pitching has gone this season, you know Manning's probably going to walk 2, but he scatters them throughout the ball game. There's only been one start this season for Manning where he did not walk a batter. That was against Rollins back on the 20th of March. This Tampa group can run a little bit. Books has stolen 5 bags this season. He has not been caught. Nick Pereira, the designated hitter. .300 average on the dot, 9 hits and 30 at-bats. 4 doubles, no homers yet. Ball and a strike to the Spartans designated hitter. It's going to be very interesting to see how this Tampa group tries to operate on the bases this weekend. They are one of the better teams in the Sunshine State Conference in stealing bags. They are 57 out of 65 as a team this year. Currently 4th in the conference. But Sebastian Garavito is the best arm behind the dish this season. Individually, he has caught the most runners of any catcher in the Sunshine State Conference, given the playing time. He's caught 12 this year. Abraham Rios from St. Leo has pulled a little bit ahead of him, but been back there a little bit more frequently. And another strikeout for Manning here as he catches Pereira looking. Javier Soto, the junior from Lake Worth, or Santa Fe College transfer. Javi Soto from West Palm Beach. .305 his average, 9 doubles, 3 homers, and a triple to go along. He has driven in 27 this season. A man on here with 2 away as Nick Manning tries to work around the walk and get the guys back inside. It's a big talking point in baseball, the need of a shutdown inning. Your team gives you some type of run scoring on the board. You need to toss up a 0 to keep the momentum. That one sent right back to the screening. Manning ahead 1-2. It's very difficult to feel confident if your offense scores and then the runs are given right back. This season, though, Nick Manning's been very tough when given a lead. Keep the Spartans quiet right here. Breaking ball, swung at and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts for the freshman right-hander for NSU. He strikes out 2 in the inning and leaves that walk right over at first base.
To Broward County, everyone knows the sunrises, the beautiful beaches, and the extravagant nightlife. But within the heart of the 954 lies Shark County. The Sharks have always been hungry for more, striving for excellence in competition and in the classroom. But over time, we've evolved into not only the power in Broward, but one of the premier powerhouses in all of college athletics.
Southeastern. They've been the best team in Division II all season long.
We're the home of 15 NCAA Division II national championships, crowning 50 individual national champions and winning 55 Sunshine State Conference titles. We are the Sharks. We are Shark County. We are the power in Broward.
Sharks' second baseman, Roy Quevedo, will lead it off here in the bottom of the second inning. Really just happy to see Roy get back into the lineup. Pulled up on a stolen base attempt back against Emmanuel. Got a couple of games off, but seemingly feeling quite a bit better. Back into the mix, and although he's not at shortstop, you really just love having the glove back in the field. Senior from Miami, Florida. Hitting .255 this season across 27 games. Take a strike over the outer edge to move the count to 1-1. Roy has hit 3 doubles, 2 homers. He has driven in 21. He is one of 2 players this season for the Sharks that have totaled over 20 RBIs. It's a very dispersed offensive group as Roy will tap one very softly over to first base. Carlson takes care of it himself for the first out of the inning. Now Michael Arnold has just been such a boost for the offense this season. Now qualifies in offensive categories with the playing time. He's got the at-bats necessary for it. He's a .295 hitter this year. 18 hits and 61 at-bats. A couple of doubles and a homer for Arnold. He's walked 12 times this season. Leads the team in hit by pitches with 11. The 0-1. Well outside. Like a little change-up out of the hand of Satin. A couple of big body starting pitchers on the mound in this ball game. Satin listed at 6'3", 220 pounds. Nick Manning for NSU listed at 6'7", 225 pounds. It's the way that the game of baseball is seemingly going. You're under 6'2". Teams aren't really looking at guys like that anymore, and there's a lot of good pitchers that just don't have the stature. Satin set his 1-2 on the way to Michael Arnold. We knocked right back up the middle, past the outstretched glove of the second baseman. And Woodburn couldn't keep it on the dirt. Michael Arnold will have a base hit. Just continues to swing a very good bat this season. It's pushing right up the pole. Getting closer and closer to 20 hits this year. Nick Rodriguez, who is bit of a tie, second most in the hit column this season with the Sharks. He's got 26 hits and 104 at-bats. Knocked right back up the box. Woodburn misplayed it. He's been tested a couple of times early. And a couple of infield singles for the Sharks here in the inning. Tougher play for Woodburn, so he won't get tagged with anything there. Don't really think he should have been. Defense is certainly going to be pretty dazzling this weekend. You have the two top teams in the Sunshine State Conference, and Manny Ramirez Jr. got into the box a little bit late there, so he gets an early strike. They'll one. Infield hedging in a little bit here. Ramirez Jr., the Sharks' designated hitter. Average sitting an even 200 this year, 8 hits, including a double and a homer. His last 2 appearances, he's 4 for 8. Got a double. He's driven in 3 runs. Getting hot at the right time. Can take control of the DH spot against left-handed pitching. He's got a lot of playing time in this series. 1-2. Popped up. Drifting towards the backstop. Playable. Basket catch made. Irigoyen with the second out of the inning. Just caught that one off the end of the bat. You have 2 of the top 12 teams nationally in total defense. You look at team fielding percentage. These 2 teams ranking towards the top in all of Division II baseball. Tampa comes in at 6th, the Sharks 12th. And the gap is not very wide. Sharks have only committed 3 more errors than the Spartans. 1 less game played this season for NSU as Joel Cabrera climbs in for the first time. See how much playing time the sophomore gets the back end of this season as the count moves to 2-0. Been a cool year offensively for Cabrera. 9 hits and 45 at-bats, a couple of doubles, 5 RBIs. Lefty with the pier to second, now to the dish. A low and away strike. Cabrera didn't love it. Looked to catch the corner though. Robert Satin trying to keep this inning traffic filled but quiet on the scoreboard. 2 infield singles for the Sharks. A count of 3-1. Cabrera will certainly walk. He has earned 9 free passes this season. If he is able to reach, lineup flips over for Anthony Stinson. 3-1. Big rip from Cabrera. Liked what he saw. There are situations in a ball game, high leverage opportunities offensively, and certainly when you're on the mound where you can afford to get a little bit greedy. That was certainly a rip for Cabrera right there, trying to add a couple of numbers onto the scoreboard. Now the 3-2, got to recompose. Everybody off. Cabrera knocks it down the first baseline, just foul. Carlson had a pretty good look over at that one. A little bit of anxiety here in the ballpark in the early goings. The Sharks putting some men on base, picking up their 3rd hit of the game early on. Arnold and Rodriguez, they're off. Cabrera knocks this one foul, and we'll do it again. The 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up here. Really looking for this bottom third of the order to continue to grind. Looking for quality at-bats to be stacked up. This bottom 3 or 4 group. It really starts with Arnold. Cabrera trying to keep it going. Satin home. Clips the outside edge, says the home plate umpire, and Joel Cabrera strikes out looking to end the inning. 2 men left on by the Sharks. We head to the third, still 1-0.
First 50 years of the Sunshine State Conference inspired champions and built a legacy rooted in excellence. A legacy built from a single sport to a conference of national champions. Threaded through geography, fueled by growth, defined by excellence. 135 team national titles, 173 individual champions, and hundreds of Scholar All-Americans. Always at the top of NCAA Division II. Looking ahead, we reflect on where we started, where we are, and where we're going. The Sunshine State Conference, where success thrives.
We get started here in the third inning. 8-9-1 for Tampa. Jack Martinez, the third baseman for the Spartans. Martinez, in 22 games this season, he's a .279 hitter, 5 doubles, a homer. Been part of a very elite defensive group, though he is tied for the team lead in errors. Not a very high number, but you're at the top of a category that you don't really want to be at the top of. It is certainly worth correcting. Got a little bit of a gap in the hands at the plate. 1-1 is waved at and missed. Nick Manning has certainly had his good breaking ball today. That sweeper really been whipping through the wind. Good for strikeout number 4 already. The 1-2. Went to the well again. Strike zone's going to be a little bit wide over that outside edge. Certainly been noticing that in the early goings here. It's looking like you got about a baseball over the outside corner. And you can certainly see these two starters rack up some strikeouts if that continues to be the case. Jesse Ponce, shortstop, who's already made a couple of nice plays in the field. Take a high fastball. 269 his average. 3 doubles, 2 triples, 2 homers. His 28 hits this season. He is walking more than he's striking out as he knocks this one to Stinson. His counterpart up to the task. 2 quick outs here. 4 in a row, sat down by Manning. And back to the top for Jordan Evans.
Now batting the center fielder, number 13, Jordan Evans.
Evans in his senior season. He has also bounced around a little bit. Shelton State Community College and Mississippi College. Now here with the Spartans. He is tearing the cover off the baseball this year. No swing on the appeals. The count moves to 1-1. 2025 at Mississippi College, he was all Gulf South Conference, all region. Stinson couldn't quite gather it. first charged error of the weekend, and it goes against the Sharks. They have everything so far in this ball game. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error. Braden Woodburn hasn't quite been able to make his impacts be felt on the defensive side. A couple of balls knocked his way in the last half inning. Manning with another pick. Evans, another elite base stealer for this Tampa side. He's 16 out of 17 this year. Ball knocked to Arnold. He kills it. Long throw, and Degody will leave the bag, making sure that throw doesn't get away. Manning getting a couple of ground balls. Defense hasn't quite been able to make the play behind him. A gracious base hit for Braden Woodburn. Now with 2 away, 2 on. Similar situation the Sharks had in their half of the second. And Gunnett Carlson trying to add on to his RBI total. He's driven in 22 this season. And all the speed for Tampa is occupying the bases right now. They've combined to steal 34 bags in 39 chances. Evans and Woodburn. I don't know if you're taking off in this situation, but ball put in play. Depending on where it's directed, and you see these base paths turn into a little bit of a track meet. Count leverage in favor of the batter. Carlson, 2-1. He's going to knock this towards Emilio Gonzalez. It'll hang up for him, and the Sharks will escape the inning. Couple of men left on by Nick Manning. The Sharks will head to their half of the third inning, looking to build on their 1-0 lead.
NCAA athletes don't just compete, they make history. Representing our nation with pride and excellence, they bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
Top of the order, due up here for Nova Southeastern University. Trying to add on a little bit against a very tough customer. Starter for Tampa, one of the best. The entire rotation is towards the top of the conference in pretty much every category. They're very much a pitching and defense first team, and well, the offense certainly carries some water too. You are not going to find very many groups within Division II baseball that are more well-rounded. Top run scoring group. Only team in the Sunshine State Conference with the team ERA under 4. These Spartans. Stinson knocks it right back up the middle. Satin with the flip. Some dirt might have kicked up into his face. Nonetheless, Stinson's gone. So for 2 out of the top spot in the order. See if George DeGote can direct some contact away from a fielder lined out to the shortstop his first time up, at a ball that looked potentially destined for a gap. Satin's first one knocked in the air to right. 2 quick outs here. Spokes makes the catch towards the line. 2 pitches, 2 outs. Certainly not the game plan you're looking for against one of the top arms. Probably trying to grind him out a little bit more, see if he'll issue something towards the bigger part of the dish. You are in danger of letting one of the tougher left-handed starters in the conference really settle in here. He has had to work around some traffic in each of his first 2 innings. 1-0 to Gonzalez. The difference in the ball game right now, Emilio with his 4th home run of the season. Showing off that backside power again. And deep to left. The guy with power to all fields. Satin set. Now 2-0. Outer edge strike again. Curious to see as this ball game rolls along. The Sharks don't have a ton of left-handed batters in the lineup today with the tough lefty. Coach Morales out of the Sharks dugout here, trying to get things clarified. I see there was potentially a mistake with the count. Coach Urso's out of his dugout as well, looking for a little bit of an explanation. If it was a pitch clock violation, I think Coach Morales certainly has a gripe to be made. You can understand the magnitude of this ball game. Top-ranked team coming in. Sharks playing really good baseball, trying to make the surge, continuing to climb up the conference standings. The 2-2. Emilio will take a ball. He's really kept it confined to the strike zone lately. He's gotten a little unlucky with some hard contact, but the swings have certainly been better. In the first at bat of the ballgame, it paid off in a big way. The 3-2 now, and he'll come up empty. Fastball poured in from Satin. It's his 3rd strikeout of the ballgame. He struck out 1 in each inning, and he's tossed up back-to-back zeros. We're through 3. The Sharks still lead 1-0.
That's a timeout on betting. It completely changed the game, and you didn't even notice. Let me break it down for you. Betting ads are applying full court pressure and getting you to play the game. Many of you are falling for it and losing big money. Addiction is happening in some more than others. Now players are getting harassed by bettors. And we all know that's not how the game is won. So it's on us to be good teammates and draw the line to stay ahead of betting consequences.
Ready for the middle innings here at the NSU Baseball Complex. Nick Manning has gotten the better of the Spartans lineup so far. He's worked around only a couple of base runners so far. 3 men have reached a walk, an error, and a base hit against Nick Manning. Joander Irigoyen will lead it off here. The catcher grounded out to Manning his first time up, 4, 5, and 6 for Tampa. Both sides continuing to make sure they're being heard. I think there are certainly some gripes to be had on both sides with the strike zone shape. Got a little wide to that outer edge. I think it's mostly been with some breaking stuff, though. The fastballs haven't really been getting the same leeway. Just saw there with Nick Manning trying to run that sinker right back to the corner, maybe a little bit beyond it, and couldn't quite get the call. Now the count moves to 2-1. A couple of scattered fastballs. They're going in from Winter Garden, Florida. Has had a great season. And you are finding a lot of guys in this Spartan lineup that are certainly picking up hits with regularity. He's a 370 hitter, 9 doubles, 5 homers. Good for a share of the team lead. And Nick Manning doesn't care about what you lead in. He's got another strikeout. This one, the swing and a miss. 5 punch-outs for the freshman right-hander.
Now batting the right fielder, number 12, Jake Brooks.
Jake Brooks once again. Breaking ball down and into Brooks. Oh, miss. Worked a walk his last time up. He played in 12 games last season for the Chanticleers. Started all 12 of those games, but much like Gunnett Carlson, got hurt pretty early on and was a spectator for the rest of the season, which is really disappointing. Made his way to Tampa and certainly taken to the level of play. 34 RBIs this season. He's chasing here, though. Count to 2-2. And Manning looking for another strikeout. Eyeing number 6. Inside heater, couldn't quite clip the corner. Hey, based on the way the home plate umpire is calling the strike zone right now, it doesn't seem like there's going to be any give inside edges, whether it's the right-handed or left-handed batters here. They have to work away. 3-2. Caught a little bit more of the plate. Fought off. Coach Morales with a nifty play off the netting. Some of these guys, the Sharks coaching staff, not quite fighting for foul balls, but got a couple of former infielders over there still trying to show off that they got it. Manning with the 3-2. Fastball knocked foul again. See if Manning tries to lean on that sinker a little bit here in this count. And stay off the barrel. Get some contact here, put an end to this at-bat. Couple of shakes now. Manning's 3-2. Right back up the middle and into some vacated space. Roy Quevedo was shaded a little bit more for a pulled base hit. Brooks back up the middle. He's reached twice. Really been grinding against Manning. Nick Pereira, the designated hitter. Strikeout victim his first time up. Now the second hit of the ball game for Tampa. You really look at Books right now as a real difference maker in this one, not just because he's reached base twice, but two very long at-bats that have both ended positively for him. So we pitched number 58 for Nick Manning already. One out here in the fourth. Fastball poured past Pereira. Manning has really done some of his best work this season with guys on base. Tends to get tougher, especially once guys get into scoring position against him. Mentioned in the open, he's only allowed, on average, 1 earned run per start since the game against Wilmington. Arnold does one play. It's across the infield. He'll get Pereira. Books into scoring position now to second base on the ground out.
Now batting, the left fielder, number 20, Javier Soto.
Javi Soto will bat once again. At 27 RBIs this season. He's trying to be the next Spartan batter to eclipse 30 driven in this year. Not in this moment, though. Manning sweeps it off the dish. Soto struck out to end the second when Books was aboard. Trying to keep this 1-0 lead. Manning getting tough. That fastball pulled outside. Switching out this baseball here. Couple of misfires. Infield been mostly sharp for the Sharks in the early goings. See if Manning can get him in work right here. 2-0. Fastball running back. The big part of the plate. Continues to lean. That sinking fastball in the sweeper. That's really his bread and butter. Xing off that outside edge to right-handed batters. Count to 3-1 right here. Taking a quick look at the pitch clock right before he steps back. Deep breath here for Manning. The 3-1. Soto will take a wide strike to fill up the count. Your handful of long at-bats in this inning. Irigoyen saw 5. Books obviously worked the walk with a couple of foul balls mixed in. He saw 9. Pitch number 6, knocked foul. The parking lot, got a pretty good crowd here at the NSU baseball complex. Everybody was looking for some shade early. The sun rips into the eyes here before it sets just past the Sharks bullpen. Now we're in pretty good shape. Pitch number 7 from Manning in this at-bat. Waved at and missed. Pulled the string on Soto. And Nick Manning has 2 strikeouts in the frame, and he leaves another man on base against Tampa.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Satin back to the hill here against the Sharks, trailing 1-0. A big fly by Emilio Gonzalez, the only bit of run scoring so far for either side. Sebastian Garavito is going to lead it off for NSU. 4, 5, and 6. Due up here, home half of the fourth. Campus of Nova Southeastern University on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. It's almost all Sunshine State Conference action for the Sharks. Rest of the way, they've got 2 midweek matchups still against SSC opponents. Been doing really their best work of the season since the start of March. Best work in quite some time. Team peaking at the right time of the season. They've seemingly found their recipe. Pitching, defense, a little bit of small ball. Some more action on the bases than we've been accustomed to seeing under Coach Morales' tenure. Or conventional baseball. Team hasn't shown like a ton of long ball power. There have been some scattered homers this season, like earlier on in this ball game, but trying to build innings, trying to stack quality at bats, move down the line, move guys over, try and manufacture runs. It has worked. Sharks have won more than a handful of closer ball games during the long winning streak, and now you're 15-5 since the beginning of March. The weather has warmed up a bit, and so have the bats. Garavito pops this one up on the infield dirt. Catch made by Woodburn for the first out of the inning. Satin continues to really settle in here. Sharks got the big blast by Gonzalez. A couple of really good swings in consecutive order. Then they had the back-to-back singles that barely trickled through the infield. Since then, 6 straight sat down by the left-hander. Roy Quevedo, who grounded out to the first baseman his last time up. Yet to see Roy be tested in this ball game. Came out of the last one with the leg issue. And you want to see if he's the same dynamic guy that he usually is, or if he's hindered a little bit. Roy knocking this one softly to the shortstop, and yeah, he's not quite running the way that he normally does. You need him out there. He's fighting through it a little bit, and he's a veteran guy who can certainly do that. Soft ground out. A couple more weakly hit balls here in this inning. That'll be Michael Arnold again. His infield base hit last time up. It's part of the lineup for Coach Morales has really been the ignition point. Bottom half of the order, starting with the number 6 man, Arnold, in this ball game. These are your grinders. These are the guys who have been really putting in the work. Working the walks, getting hit by pitches, fouling balls off. Working counts. And 2 guys in a row stacked here with Arnold and Rodriguez. They both have on-base percentages over 400 this season. They're actually 1 and 3 on the team this year. Arnold's reaching base at a near 500 clip. Satin with the 2-1. That'll clip down and in corner. Continues to be tough. Something really clicked for him heading into this year. And exclusively as a starter, he's been absolutely fantastic, and he catches Arnold looking at strike 3. He sat down 8 in a row now with 3 strikeouts mixed in. We head to the 5th. Sharks still lead 1-0.
Campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Top of the fifth for the Spartans, third baseman number 4, Jack Martinez.
Into the 5th. A pitcher's duel here between Nick Manning and Robert Satin, as advertised, between two of the best arms in the Sunshine State Conference. 1-0 through 4. Both have been tough, working around some traffic. Tends to be the case. The difference in a ball game, you've got two pitchers of this magnitude, it tends to be the long ball that separates the winner from the loser. It's just really tough to string together hits and getting base runners on with regularity against guys this talented. Jack Martinez, who struck out looking in the 3rd inning. And a 1-2 hole here as he comes up empty. Like, over the last couple of innings, Nick Manning has started to incorporate that changeup a little bit more frequently. And for a guy who leans so heavily on his fastball, every once in a while you throw that wrinkle in, you're going to get some guys in some really tough spots. And he catches Martinez looking at strike 3 again with the breaking ball. Got him in a little bit of a blender here. Nick Manning with 7 strikeouts. Been very efficient now. Career high strikeout total for Nick Manning. 9 of them this season. Did it against Florida Tech back on March 13th. Ahead of Jesse Ponce once again. Left-handed hitting shortstop for the Spartans. Has the count leveled at a ball and a strike. Manning from Boca Raton. Really a big part of the Sharks season, especially turning things around a little bit. It wasn't exactly the start that the Sharks were hoping to get off on, and the rotation, as mentioned in previous broadcasts, got into a little bit of a jumble. Federico Zapata, Chris Perez, and Carlos Colunga have been mixing in. Miguel Diaz is mixed in a little bit. Nick Manning certainly frustrated here. Usually a very stoic guy out there on the mound, and his freshman battery mate, Sebastian Garavito, these two no doubt have been working really well together this season, all the way back into the fall, early days of training this season. You rarely ever see Manning show anything with his body language. Right there, certainly wishes he had that strike call. Looked pretty good. Instead, it's a 3-1 count. The Sun is playing its final tricks on the batters. They're pretty much the only guys who will suffer right now, the left-handed hitters. It is a one-out walk issued by Manning. Second free pass that he's allowed. As mentioned, that's usually the case. He's made 8 starts this season. He's walked 2 in 5 of them, especially lately. A little pickoff and a very late retreat back to the bag. Jesse Ponce. Not a very aggressive base runner this season. He is perfect on 3 attempts. It's a really good time on the Tampa side here to try and get something going. You've got top of the order with some really good contact and speed. Good base runner over at first base as well. Manning will snap throw. Back over to first. Degody had a tough time with that one. Sun not directly in his line, but never really know with how things are going with his particular angle. Manning's 0-1. Breaking ball knocked to Stinson. He'll field it on the long hop. High flip to Quevedo, who will prioritize getting the lead out. Wise decision. Jordan Evans will trade places with Jesse Ponce, and tougher base runner to contend with. I certainly think it's worth eyeing here as Tampa gets some guys on. When exactly are they going to look to get going on the bases? Right here is the answer. That pitch misses inside. Evans will have a stolen base without a throw. It's his 17th stolen base of the season. When Sebastian Garabito has been given the opportunity to throw down, he has done a great job in doing so. And Woodburn here has a 2-0 count. Sharks not happy with the appeal process there. The tying run into scoring position now. Braden Woodburn chops one softly. Arnold read it. He'll gather, throw, and record the final out of the inning. Braden Woodburn knocks into the final out on the ground, and Nick Manning again leaves a man stranded.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Home half of inning number 5 about to get started here. 7, 8, and 9 for NSU. As Robert Satin has been turning away the Sharks with some regularity. He has sat down 8 straight after a pair of base hits by Michael Arnold and Nick Rodriguez back in the second. Well, it's Rodriguez again trying to get things started for NSU. They've had the one big swing of the ball game. Particularly impressive hack by Emilio Gonzalez, left on left to the opposite field. It's big man territory, and have particular level of strength to accomplish that feat. Nick Rodriguez knocks one softly. It's got some weird spin to it, but not too tough for Jack Martinez. Sharks have not been having particularly long at-bats lately. A couple of very early outs in counts. Now Manny Ramirez Jr. popped out and foul ground his first time up to the catcher. Sharks. It's an offense needing a little bit of a spark here again. This is kind of the ball game that they want to play, though. Keep it low scoring. Situationally very strong, this Sharks group. It goes without saying, the Tampa side certainly very fundamentally sound in understanding their situations as well. So you've really got a couple of chess masters going here, middle of the season. Manny Ramirez Jr. has worked this count 3-0. And a 4-pitch walk. Seemingly out of nowhere. Robert Satin lost the strike zone right there pretty quickly. Paramount for him to try and get it locked back in. First walk issued by the left-hander. Joel Cabrera will bat once again. Sophomore probably expecting some more playing time as he chops this one up the middle. Will go to first, and the throw's late. Couldn't be dug out either. Gunnett Carlson couldn't put the squeeze on it, but Joel Cabrera will leg out an infield single. This is the third infield single today for NSU. You're really starting to, the pitcher mindset is, well, getting a little bit unlucky out there on the mound. Well-placed soft contact that's starting to boost the Sharks' hit totals. Satin now tries to work around a pair of base runners again. It's the top of the order. Stinson 0 for 2. Has struck out looking and grounded out. Liner into the shortstop's glove, and Manny Ramirez Jr. a little bit too far off the bag there. He loses the foot race, and it's a double play. You talk about a pitcher getting a little bit unlucky. How about a pretty beneficial line drive right there to end the inning? Through 5, it's still 1-0.
When it comes to Broward County, everyone knows the sunrises, the beautiful beaches, and the extravagant nightlife. But within the heart of the 954 lies Shark County. The Sharks have always been hungry for more, striving for excellence in competition and in the classroom. But over time, we've evolved into not only the power in Broward, but one of the premier powerhouses in all of college athletics.
Nova Southeastern, they've been the best team in Division II all season long.
We're the home of 15 NCAA Division II national championships, crowning 50 individual national champions and winning 55 Sunshine State Conference titles. We are Sharks. We are Shark County. We are the power in Broward.
This ball game really has been everything that it was supposed to be. Very low scoring, well-pitched effort. And Nick Manning and Robert Satin worked through 5 innings each, just 1 run allowed. Now 3, 4, and 5. No beef of the order here for Tampa. Gunnar Carlson has struck out and lined out. Left a base runner in scoring position. His last time up was 2 men left on back in the 3rd inning when he lined out to Emilio Gonzalez. One left up high. Earlier, Carlson, originally from Tampa. Been around the block a little bit. Redshirted his true freshman year at Florida State University. Count moves to 2-2. Played 12 games with the Seminoles. Then he moved to the College of Central Florida. And then on to Rice back in 2025. This could certainly be a home for him. Count to 3-2 is you're starting to feel some of the anxiety from the Tampa fans that have made their trip down. Not used to seeing their group held off the scoreboard like this. And Carlson going after a wide fastball for strike 3. Second time he's struck out in the ball game. Nick Manning continues to dazzle out there. He's got 8 strikeouts through 5+. Irigoyen back in once again. Johnner 0 for 2 is grounded out to Manning and struck out. Though he's put up a little bit more of a fight lately. Really forced Manning to work hard for that strikeout. And that's kind of the goal if you're facing a guy who's very adept at getting swings and misses and striking guys out once he gets to that second strike. You really hate to be the guy who goes down on 3 or 4. You don't want to be an easy strikeout. That's kind of been the case with the high strikeout total. Nick Manning's got a high pitch count as well. This will be his 89th pitch of the ball game. Looking for his second out. Chance for 9 strikeouts. Spun it in the dirt. Mentioned earlier, Irigoyen tied for the team high in long balls with 5 and has 39 RBIs, which is a team high as well. This is certainly a guy that you cannot afford to overlook. He is your textbook cleanup man. Trying to keep the bases unoccupied when he's been up there, and it's been the case. He's led off 2 innings already, and the first out of the inning in front of him. 1-2 from Manning. Down and in, went back to that change-up that's been so nice for him. Nice start. Manning set The 2-2 offering. Knocked over his glove. Roy Quevedo up the middle. Degodi will dig it out of the dirt. Roy with a little bit of a chest pat there. And my bad to Degodi on the low throw, making a relatively routine play look a little bit harder. Jake Books, the right fielder again, has been the only Spartan who's reached base twice. He's walked and singled. Right into that free space up the middle. You see the Sharks infield loaded up again. More pull side. 0-1. Sweeper. Couldn't quite slip through. Manning trying to bring that one right back through the back door. 1-1. Touch low. Books keeps grinding. Two one. Wouldn't chase on that either. Continues to be the lone guy that has given Manning some real trouble today. Got a little bit of a delay in the action with the first base coach and our field umpire chatting it up over there. Been that kind of ball game for the field ump. 3-1. Fastball inside. We'll go full again with these two. Every plate appearance for Jake Books has had a full count. And he has gotten the better of Nick Manning both times previously. A tall right-hander trying to leave this ball game right here with his pitch count closing in on triple digits. A wide fastball, and Books is an angry walker. He is not happy getting issued the free pass. And he is trying really spark his dugout. There are some guys who just have that flair about them. Don't like getting walked, but they'll take them. Now Nick Pereira. That is a new season high in walks issued by Nick Manning. He's given out 3 free passes in this ballgame. Pereira will take a ball outside. It's been a very long inning for Manning pitch count-wise. 2 full counts. Even the Irigoyen ground out was on a 2-2 count. 1-0. Outside a bit. That was pitch number 100 for Manning. His season high pitch count is 102. Did it against Rollins back on the 20th. He has been regularly over 90 pitches in his last 4. He is the only Shark starter this season that has eclipsed the century mark in a start. Federico Zapata has hit 100 pitches on the dot a couple of times. This will be pitch number 101 for Manning. He tries to get through 6 complete. Another well-timed mound visit. Sebastian Garavito and Michael Arnold, a couple of the younger guys on this team getting together. Books from first. Manning with the pick over there. Books this season is a perfect 5 for 5. on stolen base attempts. 2-1 in the dirt. Good stop by Garavito. Sharks bullpen is quiet. You got to think back-to-back walks would assuredly bring out pitching coach Brian Gonzalez and get some action in that bullpen. 3-1. Fastball poured in right at the letters. Pereira not particularly thrilled with the call, but that's maybe a little bit above the belt. Fastball right over the big part of the plate. They're not really looking to be the aggressor here. I think Manning can bookmark that. 3-2. Fastball popped up, drifting into foul ground. Emilio Gonzalez trying to run it down, but it lands in the Sharks bullpen. Out of play. Lights are kicking on here at the NSU Baseball Complex. A beautiful Friday evening in Davie, Florida. And a couple of gems tossed by the two starters so far. Nick Manning trying to make it a 6th consecutive scoreless inning here against the number 2 ranked Spartans from Tampa. 3-2. Knocked softly on the ground. Stinson on the run. Fires across for the final out, and the Spartans leave another man on. Nick Manning has stranded 6 base runners through his 6 shutout frames.
Hi, I'm Sloan Smith with All Your Cooling. Staying cool in Florida has never been easier. With All Your Cooling, you'll get no money down, no payments until 2027, and a 10-year parts and labor warranty. And now you can claim federal tax credits up to $3,200. For over 50 years, families across Florida have trusted us to keep their homes comfortable. From same-day installs to expert repairs, we deliver the service you need when you need it. Don't wait until your AC gives out. Call us today, 855-818-3828, or scan the QR code below.
So George DeGote going to lead it off here for Nova Southeastern University in the bottom of the 6th inning. Narrow lead for the Sharks, but it's held so far. No doubt Nick Manning, his day more than likely done. 105 pitches through 6 innings for the freshman right-hander. And he knew it was going to be a tall order. Going to have to match one of the conference's best. A guy that came into this start with an ERA under 2. And outside of one blow-up game against Embry-Riddle, probably under 1. 1-1 to DeGote. Gets knocked back up the middle. Second baseman with the gather. And Woodburn up to the task here for the first out. DeGote 0 for 3. Good swing back in the first inning, but nothing since. Emilio Gonzalez climbing back in. 1 for 2. Solo blast and a strikeout, and he got a hold of this one vertically. Not very deep, though. And Books make his way in, make the catch. Elio now 1 for 3.
The catcher, number 13, Sebastian Garavito.
Now Sebastian Garavito, 0 for 2 so far. Ground out and a pop out. Oh, and I think you're seeing a little bit more of the adept pitching from Robert Satin here. This now his 3rd year collegiately pitching, 2nd with Tampa. Doesn't have the same strikeout total that Manning had as Garavito puts this one on the ground to the shortstop. But just 74 pitches for Satin to get through his 6th inning of work. Still 1-0 our score.
Gotta keep the flame on max. I'ma keep it going till there ain't nothing left. Ain't nothing left. Gotta keep the flame on max. I'ma keep it going till there ain't nothing left.
Let's take it back to a time when we were so much in love, baby. Ooh, yeah. Let us retreat all the pain because each other so long, yeah.
I'm breaking necks and I'm botting out. Reckless energy, I'm never signing out. Gotta keep the flame on max. I'ma keep it going till there ain't nothing left.
Let us retreat all the pain because each other so long, yeah.
A fairly surprising development here back at the NSU baseball complex between the Sharks and the Spartans. Nick Manning is back to the mound for NSU. Going to have a pinch hitter here for Javi Soto. Walker Vanacek coming off the bench. Vanacek squaring off with Nick Manning, starting off the 7th. He'll take a ball. So far this season, this is his 31st appearance. He's a .269 hitter with 25 hits, 6 doubles, 3 homers, and 25 driven in. He's also worked 21 walks this season. He struck out 24 times. A guy who can certainly provide quick burst of power at the dish, but can walk too. Certainly a guy that can strike out. He's tied for 2nd on the team in strikeouts. Sharks bullpen is active behind Manning, so potentially taking this batter by batter. Coach Morales tries to get every single pitch out of his starter here this evening. Very impactful series. Middle of the year. Nick Manning set the 2-2. Change up. Couldn't quite get the chase, and Vanacek works a full count. Of the last 5 batters that Manning has faced, 4 of them have had a full count. His 3-2. Knocked softly towards Stinson, shortstop, with the first out of the inning. Just continue to see Manning prove time and time again this season why he's an ace I mean, this is what ace caliber players do. Another pinch hitter is Jack Martinez will be lifted, and Jake Turr come off the bench. Turr has been great, primarily serving as a pinch hitter this season. He's 6 for 16 with a double. He's driven in 4. He's walked 6 times as well. Replacing Jack Martinez, who was 0 for 2 with a couple of backwards Ks. Turr putting this one in the air. Drifting into shallow left. Stinson calling everybody off, and he'll make the catch. Keep him active, and you're in great shape. Nick Manning this season, his career high in innings pitched, this being his freshman season, is 7 full. Knocked right down the third baseline, and it'll drift foul. Ponce 0 for 1 in this ball game. He did walk his last time up. Nick Manning went 7 complete against Florida Tech back on March 13th. It was his career day so far with Nova Southeastern University. 7 innings of shutout ball, 9 strikeouts against the Panthers. Certainly seems like there have been some counts extended against Manning due to some inconsistencies with the strike zone. This will be pitch number 116 for the right-hander. A high heater looked pretty solid. It's a pitch that's certainly been called regardless of side of the inning in this ball game. 2-1. And now 3-1. Ponce worked the walk his last time up, was taken off the bases immediately. Jordan Evans knocked into a fielder's choice. Big pitch here from Manning. 3-1. Fastball outside. And they'll lose him again. You are really wanting to see Nick Manning finish off this ball game. He has worked so hard to get it to this point. Sebastian Garavito going to take the slow walk out to the mound here. It's been a ball game that has not included Sharks pitching coach Brian Gonzalez yet. He wanted to keep this to just the players out there. I think that speaks to the trust that this coaching staff has in Sebastian Garavito with his ability to be a great communicator. And you better be able to communicate if you're going to catch. Sebastian Garavito working with Manning again. 2 away, top of the 7th inning. A 2-out walk. Back to the top with Jordan Evans. Manning's got him grounded out in the first. Reached on an error in the third. Then grounded into a fielder's choice and stole the bag in the 5th. It's been pretty quiet compared to his standards, and Manning is ahead of him 0-1. I'm starting to see really the effects of grinding at bats right here as Manning is about to throw his 121st pitch of the ball game. This is old school work right here. 1-1. Down and in. And this is a guy who's probably begging for this start. And this is where you make a name for yourself in a matchup like this. 2-1. Breaking ball, hammered down the third baseline. It's fair. Emilio Gonzalez is going to try to run this one down. It's rattling up against the fence. It gets stuck in the wall. Gonzalez shot his arms up immediately. The umpires haven't stopped play yet, and Gonzalez has been waving his arms nonstop. Home plate umpires heading out there. And everybody's going to get sent back. So it'll be a double. Ball got caught up under the screening. There should be no run on this play either. The umpires are going to get together here. Yeah, everybody back to their bases. So it'll be second and third as Coach Morales is out of the Sharks dugout here. Handshakes for Nick Manning. No doubt a round of applause coming up for the freshman starter who's been magnificent in this ball game. Just couldn't get the final out here in the seventh. He departs. It'll be Ricky Gonzalez out of the Sharks bullpen, taking over here in a jam. Sharks trying to leave the tying and go-ahead runs on base. Ricky Gonzalez on for Nova Southeastern University out of the bullpen. Gonzalez has been Coach Adrian Morales' most called upon reliever this season. This will be his 14th appearance. Brings a 2-1 record into the ballgame with him. Team high 2 saves. It's a 4.
NCAA athletes don't just compete, they make history. Representing our nation with pride and excellence, they bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
Ricky Gonzalez has allowed just 1 earned run across his last 5 innings of work. Back-to-back scoreless appearances, 1 against Emmanuel, 1 against North Georgia, where he worked an inning plus. Biggest outs of the season right here, though. Looking to leave 2 men on and keep this game in favor of NSU. After the double by Jordan Evans, it's put Ponce and Evans in scoring position, and Gonzalez is going to hit Braden Woodburn. That loads the bases. Coach Morales dipping back into the well. Ricky Gonzalez has been really tough through large chunks of this season. Inheriting 2 men on and trying to keep this ball game right where it is. Squares off with Gunnett Carlson. Gonzalez with that power fastball. The sinker slider changeup mix. You can get it into the low 90s. The 0-1. Knocked towards Quevedo with the stab. And the senior second baseman gets the Sharks out of trouble. Cool Roy. And the Sharks keep their lead at 1-0.
First 50 years of the Sunshine State Conference inspired champions and built a legacy rooted in excellence. A legacy built from a single sport to a conference of national champions. Threaded through geography, fueled by growth, defined by excellence. 135 team national titles, 173 individual champions, and hundreds of Scholar All-Americans. Always at the top of NCAA Division II. Looking ahead, we reflect on where we started, where we are, and where we're going. The Sunshine State Conference, where success thrives.
Well, the two pinch hitters in the top of the seventh inning, Vanacek and Turer, are remaining on. Vanacek in left field, Turer at third base. Roy Quevedo with one of his better plays of the season at second base. Ball smoked on the ground. And up to the task yet again. Sharks defense helping out their pitchers. 1-0. And Roy Quevedo, who just made a fantastic play in the field, gets a chance to lead off here in the bottom of the seventh. You will notice it is still that imposing left-handed frame of Robert Sutton out on the mound. 6 innings of 1-run ball. He just threw a 75th pitch. He has been unbelievable, the pitch count efficiency and just keeping the Sharks off the scoreboard. It's one mistake to a guy you really can't afford to make mistakes to. That's all the damage in the ball game. Roy squaring the bunt. He'll pull it back, just trying to get into the mind of the pitcher. Quevedo 0 for 2 in the ball game. He has grounded out twice. Once to the first baseman, once to the shortstop. 2-1. High chopper to Turer. And Quevedo grounds out for the third time in the ballgame. Time to grind. As Michael Arnold will climb back into the box. So 1 for 2 ball game so far against Satin with a base hit and a strikeout. Ball 1 missing outside to Arnold, who's had some pretty impressive plate appearances today. The infield base hit was with 2 strikes against him. Struck out looking, but grinded out the at-bat quite a bit longer. 1-0. Challenge pitch right there to Arnold. Fastball down and in. The Sharks' third baseman. 1-1. Got him coming up empty. Arnold rarely swings and misses on pitches that miss over the plate. Ball and 2 strikes to him. Satin's only struck out 4 so far. Sharks have been doing a great job of cutting down on the swings and misses. Arnold knocking this one softly towards the second baseman. His good speed going to make it a tougher play, but he's out by about a step. Woodburn. Another smooth play from second, 2 groundouts in the inning. It's a big pitch count booster. You're able to get outs like that. I mean, there's some gear down in the visitors' bullpen, but there hasn't been a body down there since this game was about to get started. Nick Rodriguez in. Has singled and grounded out. This looper to left. It's going to drop in front of everybody. Vanacek couldn't run it down right into the ball game. And you know it's going to find you. Some way, somehow, you enter a ball game, you're going to get involved. Watch Manny Ramirez Jr. here with the man on for him. And he's been swinging a better bat lately. No better time to prove it than the present. Had a very strong game at North Georgia. Went 3 for 4 with a double. He drove in 3 runs. That is one of the tougher teams in the nation, regardless of it being a midweek or not. And Ramirez puts this one into the air to right. Not all that threatening. The wind won't play any tricks on books. We are through 7 complete. 1-0 between the Sharks and the Spartans.
Campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Ricky Gonzalez back to the mound for Nova Southeastern University here against the Tampa Spartans. He relieved Nick Manning. I'll give you the final line look at Nick Manning. Final line for Manning, 6 2/3, 3 hits allowed, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts. Through a career-high 122 pitches, 66 strikes. And Ricky Gonzalez back on here for the 8th. Bullpen hierarchy for NSU. And Ricky Gonzalez has really proven that he can get some tough outs in some really ugly spots. Inheriting 2 men on. Did hit a batter. Left the bases loaded against one of the tougher teams in the nation offensively. Top run scoring group in the conference. Count a ball and a strike. No swing on the appeal. Joander Irigoyen back up to the plate. It's been held in check so far. That was all against Nick Manning. 2 groundouts and a strikeout. right-handed hitting catcher. And he's going to shoot this to right field. Nick Rodriguez on the slide makes the catch. And he is taken to right field like it's his natural position. Certainly not the first time that Coach Morales has made a position change with a former catcher and guy who bats left-handed, and it's fit like a glove. Alluding to the initial change that Coach Morales made when he got here, which was moving Justin Wax to left field. And it turned Justin Wax into an all-conference player. Jake Books takes a ball. For the better of the ball game so far, because it hasn't hurt the Sharks, but they have certainly been pitching around Books a little bit. 2 walks and a soft base hit back up the middle. Count moves to a ball and a strike. He's obviously a very dangerous hitter. Slugging percentage just under .550 with 12 doubles and 4 home runs. You're going to work around him. And it's not to the surprise of many. If you're going to try and make an impact, you're going to have to hit a pitcher's pitch. He did it back in the 4th. Base hit. He is perfect today in reaching base. 3 trips up. 2 walks and a base hit. Can Ricky Gonzalez be the Sharks pitcher that turns away Jake Books here in the 8th? The first time today. Wind whipping out across the field. 2-2. Bottom of the zone. Didn't get the call. Gonzalez with a little bit of a head tilt. Full count again. Books has had a full count in every plate appearance. The 3-2. Knocked right past the Sharks dugout. Heads up Tommy Barbary down there in his usual perch. Waiting on the 3-2 again. Gonzalez and Books squaring off. Knocked. The direction of Arnold, the Sharks were shifted. The infield alignment again. And every once in a while you're going to give up some hits through the shift. It's not a perfect thought process, but that was directed right where Stinson usually aligns. Now Jake Books 2 for 2, and he's reached in 4 times. Some guys are just tough. He certainly has been. Now Nick Pereira, designated hitter. He's been held to an 0 for 3 so far. Has struck out and grounded out twice. Both times to the left side of the infield. He's going to pop this up to Nick Rodriguez in right. And the catch will be made. Keeping Nick quite busy in this inning. Wrong day to be putting the ball in the air to right field. Now Walker Vanacek once again. Grounded out in his pinch hit appearance. Has stayed on the ball game in left field. Emilio Gonzalez is looking for us to stop play here. He's shouting from left field. I think that ball that got wedged has been dislodged from earlier on. You know, Emilio Gonzalez on top of everything out there. Caught that ball dropping out of the fence with the peripheral vision. Vanacek been a pretty strong hitter this season. 9 extra base hits this year. It is 25 hits, and he skies this to center. Joel Cabrera camped underneath it, puts the squeeze on it, and Ricky Gonzalez has a scoreless frame in the top of the 8th.
NCAA athletes don't just compete, they make history. Representing our nation with pride and excellence, they bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
Joel Cabrera, who put an end to the top of the 8th. Going to climb in here and lead it off. No change out there on the mound for Tampa. Not all that surprising either, because Robert Satin has been absolutely sensational today. These two sides came in playing nearly identical baseball over the last month plus. Have been absolutely crushing it. Really been good dose of complimentary baseball as well. The pitching's been great. The bats have been doing their thing. Defense has been really good too. A good old-fashioned low-scoring pitchers duel here at the NSU baseball complex. 1-0, the bottom of the 8th inning. Manning has long since departed this ball game, but Satin continues out there. 1-2, gets yanked. Front shoulder came open a little bit there. A junior left-hander has been great today. Just that one swing to look back on. 2-2 to Cabrera, and he's caught looking at strike 3. Second time today, Cabrera has gone down on strikes looking. Now 1 for 3. The Sharks will send back up the top of their order. Anthony Stinson. Stinson will take that one inside. He's 0 for 3 today. His last time up, got a little bit unlucky. A well-struck line drive, but right at the shortstop. Turned into an inning-ending double play. Backdoor breaking ball that clips the zone. Count to 1-1. For those curious, this will be pitch number 93 for Satin. Stinson sends this one to right. Books makes the catch. There's just nothing that's going to travel very deeply to right field. Wind's been blowing across and out to left for the last couple of weeks. The weather gets better here in Davie, southernmost point of the conference. South Florida here. You got Sharks and the Buccaneers who've had to deal with some rather uncharacteristically cold weather later on in the season. George DeGote been held hitless today. He's 0 for 3, is lined out, flown out, and grounded out. Now he's going to put this one firmly through the infield. It took a bit of a stumble, but it won't matter. And DeGote is on.
The left fielder, number 45, Emilio Gonzalez.
DeGote has now reached in 11 consecutive ball games, and Emilio Gonzalez, a real chance to add on right here. Bullpen starting to get active for Tampa. As all of a sudden the pitch count is up to 97 with this next toss. 1-0, well outside. And the very imposing Gonzalez. He's already jumped you. I think that's in the back of the mind of Satin right now. DeGote with a narrow lead from first. That is a game-changing swing right there from Emilio Gonzalez. It comes up empty. Count to 2 balls and a strike with 2 away here. Last chance for the Sharks to add on. Wide strike. Gonzalez not in love with the call. Coach Urso out of his dugout, directing things a bit. Satin. The 2-2 pitch, number 100, knocks softly to the shortstop. Ponce off the glove. DeGote is going to hold at second base. He's not the fastest Sharks runner, so you don't really want to push it too much. The Sharks given a gift. Oh, meeting on the mound here for Tampa. Both sides, 2 of the elite defensive groups in the conference and nationally, both been tagged with an error in this ball game. An even 100 pitches for Robert Satin through 7 2/3, 6 hits. He's only been charged with the run, 5 strikeouts and a walk. Sebastian Garavito has really been an impact bat as a freshman. This season, he's driven in 14, good for 4th most on the club. 26 hits. You put guys on for him, he tends to cash in. One. Past him. Young Sebastian. trying to cash in against his older brother's former team. 1-2. Outside. And make a career here with the Sharks. Huge spot. The young backstop. Degodi and Gonzalez on. Base hit and an error. And the Sharks trying to make this one hurt. 2-2. Inside. We got action coming up. (3-2). Degodi and Gonzalez will be off on the pitch. Left-hander home. Strike three. And Robert Satin strikes out his 6th man of the ball game and leaves 2 men on. We'll head to the 9th, hoping that 1 is enough for a W at Nova Southeastern University.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Defensive change for NSU. Taking over in left field is Dakota Jones. The Sharks go for a little bit more of a regular outfielder. Dakota Jones back into the ball game, and Ricky Gonzalez trying to finish this one off. Gets Jake Turr to start off the inning. Count to 1-1. Chopped up the middle. Roy Quevedo with the throw and the out. And Roy fighting through it. He's given the Sharks everything they could possibly need today with the glove. He has been fantastic in this ball game. Jesse Ponce takes a strike. As the Sharks trying to pick up this win here and move to 21-13. It would be their 9th win in conference action. Ponce dipping his feet out of the way. Hitless in the effort, but he's reached base twice on walks. Sharks trying to hand the number 2 ranked Spartans their 2nd conference loss of the season. Move to 14-2. This is grounded towards Quevedo again. Throw high. foot reapplied. Roy Quevedo, he's playing his heart out, and he is doing every bit of the imaginable glove work he can. Giving him a little bit of a breather here. Much deserved. Now Jordan Evans will climb in once again. Last out to get for Gonzalez. Sharks trying to knock off the Spartans here in the first one. Tone set by Nick Manning. And Ricky Gonzalez slammed the door shut right here on Friday night. Evans grounded out, reached on an error, fielder's choice, and has a double. Grounded softly, Stinson up the middle. He'll flip, fire, and the final out recorded by the Sharks. Nova Southeastern University takes game one of the weekend set against the number 2 ranked Spartans. A 1-0 gem of a ball game by Nick Manning and Ricky Gonzalez. Final line for the Sharks, 1 run on 6 hits and the lone error. Tampa shut out. 4 hits for the Spartans and 1 error of their own. We will have a doubleheader tomorrow in the afternoon for a series decider with the Sharks taking game 1. Nick Manning picks up his 6th win of the season. He improves to 6-1. Ricky Gonzalez, with his 3rd save of the campaign, closes out this ball game in shutout fashion. That'll do it for us here at the NSU Baseball Complex. A huge win for the Sharks, 1-0 over the Spartans.